participated in a plethora of sports. There was soccer, basketball, tennis, Little League softball, and gymnastics, none of which particularly excited me. In fact, I would dread making practices. However, come high school, I strolled into the nurse's office and gave them my forms to become a member of the swim team. But note that this is one of the few teams at Staples that does not make cuts. And I didn't have any sort of epiphany, but fast forward to this year and my decision makes a little more sense. On the afternoon of January 30th, 2015, you could find me sitting in front of my computer trying to focus on the classic Tom Hanks movie, Castaway. I only got about 10 minutes in. And on a normal day, I probably could have devoted more of my attention to the film, but it just so happened that within that hour, I was set to hear my college decision. Well, that hour came, and I quickly refreshed my admissions page to find a politely worded message. They were sorry, but the applicant pool was very talented that year, and they didn't have any room for me. I was devastated at first. It was a shock. College has been pushed on us as such an obvious choice that I've actually been in a room where people have scoffed at the idea of post-graduation plans because to them the only plan after high school is a college education. However, only 33.5% of 25 to 29-year-olds in America do have a college degree, according to the New York Times. The obsession with college has grown out of hand. Since when was it normal to write a 500-word essay months before it's due, only to revise about 10 times, or to take the same standardized test, just hoping maybe the 4-hour tutoring sessions will pay off? I can confidently tell you that after said tutoring, my math score did not magically skyrocket to 800. However, what I found was that when I started to try and define myself in essay prompts and test scores, I lost what I truly enjoyed and what makes me unique. I have always loved art and fashion design and began combining these interests in classes when I was in 6th grade. However, when high school came around, I felt like I had to dial back on my interests a little bit. I joined the swim team to stay more well-rounded and continued throughout my freshman and sophomore year. Junior year, I joined cross country, and senior year, well, I gave up at that point. Anyone who has witnessed me in gym class can attest to me being an atrocious athlete. With studying and homework filling up my evenings, I had less time to sketch, paint, and sew. I only dabbled in art here and there, and I felt like I had to sacrifice what I loved to seem more well-rounded. But my approach was all wrong. In fact, 93% of Americans believe art is essential to a well-rounded education. I felt like I had to choose between being a good student and doing a little bit less of what I loved, or being just an average student and doing what I enjoyed. This was without a doubt the biggest regret of my high school career, when I chose to be the better student and sacrifice what I loved. In fact, it's been found that students who do participate in art have better grades, higher likelihood of achieving a bachelor's degree, and increased literacy levels than their peers. But I was so enraptured with college admissions that I put my passions on the side, and I didn't think that they could serve me as more than just a hobby. But this past fall, I had to fill my mandatory art requirement, and I chose to take watercolor. It was the most relaxing and enjoyable class of my high school career, and it led me to pursue an internship in a middle school art class. It was easy for me to forego my passions in the end goal of acceptance, and art in particular suffers from a lack of respect and attention. But in actuality, students who do participate in art have higher SAT scores than their peers. As you can see, the average for all test takers is a 508 for verbal, but those who take 4+ years of art have a 534, and the same increase can be seen in math. For me, it wasn't too late to return where I'd left off and pick up my palettes and pencils. I rediscovered my love for art this year, and I plan to carry it with me to college. If I learned anything in high school, it was that redefining myself for college may have helped my GPA, but it did nothing for my happiness. Thank you.